All right, we want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahawah, Harken, Yahawah Shah. Peace and blessings to you brothers out there bringing this work out of sincerity and faith. And by Hashem, we're Kakadash. And you know, we out here as usual, bringing the truth out, instant, in season and out of season, man. And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna bring the truth to our people, no matter what, man. Because you know what, so-called white man doing work day in and day out, deceiving the flock, man, deceiving the fold. Give me that Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 6. Right? And this is why the so-called white man gonna be destroyed, man. Who all our people trust and believe in. All our people would trust and believe in the so-called white man who has done nothing but destroyed us. Yeah, and did nothing but destroy us day in and day out. And our people want to still hold true to serving this kingdom, hating their own people, man. You know? Go ahead. Let me get that Job first. Job. Not 9 and 25. We bring that Job out.
9, you said
nah, I'm gonna get some real quick.
Ezekiel, which one you had one? Ezekiel 9 and 37?
Habakkuk. Was it Job? Nah, it's not Job. I can't think of it now. It slipped my mind. But that's all our people want to hear. They want to hear wickedness and folly. They want to hear stuff about world star hip hop. The so-called white man don't show us no respect unless we doing what? Hating our own brothers, killing one, having the desire to, you know, be covetous in his system of oppression. Okay, that's all the so-called white. That's the only time so-called white man want to deal with us. Okay, he want us to be in his movies, spreading around all this wickedness and folly. Okay, amongst our brethren, to lead our people astray. Okay, go ahead.
What you want? Habakkuk what?
2 and 6.
2 and 6.
Right. Back 2 and 6.
Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 6.
Bring it out.
Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his.
Woe to him that increases that which is not his. Is this land the so-called white man's?
Negative.
No, because what? He came in here and did what? Killed many people. Cut off many nations. Okay? Jump down to 10. Verse 10.
Verse 10.
So-called white man came over here, cut off killed many people. Particularly the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. And that's what he does all over the land. And what do our people do? Don't know, don't consider it. We actually hate each other. Y'all hate your own people, but do we have control over inflation? Do we have control over all the toxins that's in the earth that's put cancers in your body? Do we have control over the foods, the inflation that's caused you to pay more money? Do the so-called black man have? Are we the ones in power, making it to where you have to work 12 hours a day just to live? No, but we rather hate the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American man, our own brethren. Okay, but the Lord said that Israel is a peculiar people, chosen. All right, and what? We have many curses on us. One in particular of what? Being brought into bondage on ships.
Fine.
No other people went through that. Okay? No other nation of people went through that. The so-called Indian man went into captivity in England. Why? When they came over here to put you in captivity, when they came over here to steal your land, they took slaves back with them. But we don't know that. We want to act like we so divided. We want to be divided with I'm not black, me not black. Like what the Dominicans say, me not black, I don't mean anything. Okay, but you look just like me, you're going to get the same oppression. As Esau, the so-called white man, the one who's been given the power of the sword, is going to do what? He's going to treat you the exact same that he's going to do to this brother. The Dominican man going to get treated the same way that this brother going to get dealt with. The Puerto Rican man going to get treated the same way that this brother and that myself get dealt with. Why? And not only by the cops, even by our own people. Walk right past each other. Don't want to say hello. What the scripture say? Salute your brethren. Those who you think that don't love you, salute them too. Because if you only salute those that love you, don't even the publicans the same. Who was the publicans? The so-called white man that was taxing Jerusalem back in the day. And the Jews was the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. I mean,
Bring
the
it out.
Israelites was the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. But we don't want to have understanding. We want to be like the world, but the Lord He gave us everything. He gave us everything in what? We want to be like the so-called white man. We want to be like the other nations. And look where it's gotten us. Oppressed and crushed away forevermore. Afflicted. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the only one in the jail. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we wear those badge of honor of what? Food stamps and tax fraud and black on black crime, all these different proverbs and bywords. Proverb is like a wise saying, okay? But all these proverbs and bywords on our people, a stereotype, that's right, a stereotype. They call our Hispanic brothers and sisters beaners and stuff, right? They like to make movies about us. Go ahead and put that Ezekiel chapter 25, verse 14, okay? We a proverb and byword among the nations and a shaking of the head. Don't they shake their head at us when they look at the nations? They're trying to get into the border and motherfucker, you ain't even supposed to be here. But you want to talk about our people coming through on the border, okay? Look at what's going on in Venezuela, huh? But we want to sit up here and hate it. We speaking about justice, right? Why y'all out here at night? Well, the Lord say be in season, out of season, man, huh? Ain't nobody else trying to tell you these things.
That's right.
Ain't nobody else trying to care about your mind, okay? That's where all the wickedness and the imaginations come from. That's where your doings come from, your mind. Go ahead and bring that out.
14?
Yeah.
Ezekiel chapter 25, verse 14. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom.
Give me 12, sorry. Give me 12.
Verse 12. Thus saith Yahawah, the power, because that Edom have dealt against the house of Yehudah by taking vengeance.
You see that? Edom has revenged himself upon Jerusalem, on Israel, by Yasharallah. But particularly in this scripture talking about Judah, so-called black American, and who is Edom? Well, who revenged himself on you? The so-called white man. Okay? And Esau is Edom. If you look in Genesis chapter, let me go ahead and pull that. Genesis chapter 25, verse 30. Let's see who Edom is. Okay? Let's see who Edom is. It says in Genesis chapter 25, verse 30, and Esau said to Jacob, who was Jacob? That was Israel. All right? Whose name was changed to Israel. He says, Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. What nation of people like to eat red meat? Come on now. What nation of people like to eat? And when I say red meat, I ain't talking about the cut. I'm talking about the temperature or the finish on the meat. It's like they like it red, bloody, inside. The so-called white man. It says what? Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage. Okay? For I am faint. Therefore, his name was called Edom. Okay? And what is Edom? That's the so-called white man. Because what? Who came from Edom? Who came from Esau? All his descendants. And that's these people that's leading over us today. All right? So go ahead. So we'll start from the top again.
Verse 12. Thus saith Yahawah our power, because that Edom have dealt against the house of Yehudah by taking vengeance, and have greatly offended, and revenged himself upon them.
What that scripture say? Greatly offended? They have greatly offended? What? That's what they do. That's what I was just bringing out. Not only have they suffered violence on us, look at this violence that they showed. Fed our babies to alligators. Look what happened to the so-called Mexican man. Bet you didn't see that this same thing happened to y'all, getting lynched by the so-called white man. Okay? The same thing happened to you. But no, we want to hate each other. Mexicans versus blacks and all this other BS that the so-called white man wants it to be like. They want us divided because they know that we suffer the same oppression. Okay? Y'all went into this on slavery on ships before we did. Talk about it. Come on now. But we gotta know our history. We don't care about our history because we're too busy trying to make a dollar. We're too busy hating our own people because the white man pay you for that. He pay you for that. Look at what's going on in boxing, man. Okay, let Canelo fight or Mikey Garcia fight against a brother. Against their own brother. Look, hey, bunch of Mexicans going crazy against a bunch of blacks. Because you know blacks don't stand together no way. But give our Hispanic brothers and our Indian brothers some drink, They ready to roll. Okay? So we gotta come out of that. We gotta come out of that mindset, man. We gotta get back to what the Lord is talking about. Let's go back. Let's go ahead and finish that up. You finished on that? Go ahead.
Therefore, thus saith Yahawah thou power, I will
right.
also stretch out my hand upon Edom.
That's right.
And will cut off man and beast from it.
That's right.
And I will make it desolate.
That's what's gonna happen in this land that the so-called white man has stolen. The
That's
so-called
right.
white man looking to kill this young man right here when he get older. When this young man get older, so-called white man gonna be after him like he after me.
They already starting.
Come on now.
Young age.
That's right. They trying to take us out. They want to take the young man. They want to take the young man's mind. So when he becomes older, he profits nothing to the youth. Go ahead.
I seen something yesterday. It was so disturbing, bro. Man, I seen this youngster, man. This dude was about this tall, bro. When I say he was twerking like a female, like a little girl, man. Like, bruh, this.
Yeah.
What's going on, Israel, man? This crazy, man.
That's right.
Like, it ain't nothing but foolishness around. Like, everywhere you look, man. Nobody trying to have no, nobody, like you said, nobody trying to study the history. Nobody trying to find out what's really going on inside of the food and all that. We're not looking for no deeper knowledge. We're not looking for nothing. We comfortable in this filth.
That's right.
In this filth.
Yeah, that's right. And the Most High didn't make us to have pride and arrogance, man. When we hear these things about ourselves, we're supposed to turn around and change, man. Change from these our wicked ways. But we want to sit up here in the liberty that the so-called white man has provided us and deal falsely, man, and deal treacherously. All right? We want to show hate to our people, man. We want to put off everything that's right. Okay? Women walking around like men and men walking around like women. That's out of order. That's not justice, man.
Bring it out.
That's not upright. Okay? Just like the scriptures say. In Isaiah 29, what we gonna do? We gonna call that these white people have made, this system that they made, and call it, esteem it as the potter's clay. We say, nah, that's good, brother. You out there being covetous in your doings, hating your brother in your heart, getting all these riches and stuff, man. You making it, man. Show it on TV. A bunch of dudes out here selling God knows what to our people. Selling Yahawah knows what to our people. Well, y'all know all. So, don't even let me use that. Selling this mess to our people, getting us to go off. Through the crack epidemic, what happened? The so-called white man threw us all in jail. But when this opiates epidemic happened, they want to give white people help. They want to put white people in hospitals with all the drugs that they doing.
We went through an opiate epidemic.
That's right. And what happened?
We never got no help.
That's right.
None.
We got slaughtered. Okay? They looked upon our nakedness when they put that wine bottle to our mouth. Okay? They look upon our nakedness when they put that wine bottle to our mouth. Okay? That's the wickedness that we experience out here. Only holy oppression. Holy oppression. Not H-O-L-Y, but whole.
Complete.
Yes, completely oppression. That's what we suffer in these last days. Because our enemies lead us about. Okay?
Completely
They tell us
oppressed.
we can do whatever we want to do. We can live out. We only live once. That stuff don't mean nothing good for our people, man. We don't do nothing but get killed and destroyed.
Bring it out.
All right? You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans who got sons, y'all don't care for y'all sons? They're going to be getting killed all the day long because they don't have to understand it.
No covering.
That's right. The so-called white man is taking the covering off you, and that's the man in the house that understands justice, wisdom, and knowledge of the word.
Bring it out.
And what is the knowledge of the word? What's the knowledge thereof? Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 6. Look, 5 over. We shouldn't even be over there. Cops, man.
Hey, it's all in the spirit, man.
Goddamn devils, man.
Most High brought us over here for a reason, man.
Right, that's right. 4 verse 6.
You ready?
Yeah.
Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 6.
Hear this.
Keep, therefore, and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of nations. which shall hear all the statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
But nah, they want to be wise according to this world.
Come.
They want to do things for world star hip hop so they can get views, right?
Come.
We want to sit here and fight with each other so we can get views on social media, man. You want to become a rapper so that you can push this covetous spirit, man. Who blesses the covetous? The so-called white man. He bless you. And that's why you go to your lovers, okay, to be filled with his wickedness and his ways.
Right.
Go ahead.
You were just asking me about that Wi-Fi cold cuts, that documentary. Man.
Yeah.
Did you see when that little girl walked across stage? She was graduating.
Yeah.
Said, I want to be a stripper when I grow up, man.
How old was that little girl,
Man,
bro?
she couldn't have been she had to have been graduating to kindergarten.
Was that
like
what?
kindergarten or first grade? She was so
Dang.
small, man. It's crazy, man.
So the brother just said it was a young Israelite girl, what the world would call black. She said what? She said she wanted to be a stripper when she was graduating from kindergarten, and she said she wanted to be a stripper when she get older.
And everybody in the room cheered that mess on, man.
Everybody cheered it on. Everybody said that was a good thing.
They cheered
And
that
it-
mess on.
And it was a bunch of Jake in there. There was a bunch of so-called blacks in there.
Come on.
And they cheered that little girl on. Yeah, man, she can be what she want to be. Go ahead and get that Isaiah. I know you was holding something. Give me Isaiah chapter, or nah, you already read that. Give me Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20. 20, yeah.
Come.
Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20. Okay? They cheered on a little girl, a so-called black woman, that wanted to be a stripper. Now, the so-called white woman, man, and child would say, you know what, that's a good thing. She want to be what she want to be. But listen, what the Lord say? What the Lord say about that?
Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil.
That's right. Woe unto them that call good evil and evil good. Okay? The Lord say that you don't know your